yeah, be honest in your pursuit, because the Bible says that anyone that comes to, if you're going to come to God, you have to first know that He is. First off, you got to know that He is, and that He's a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. So the reward is in the diligently seek.
That's right.
It doesn't even say you got to find Him. It just says you have to diligently seek Him, which is even deeper. But dang, I didn't want to get my preach bag. You did.
No. That's what's going to happen, man. It have no choice.
Yeah.
It has no choice. It's going to be casual.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. I just want to thank you guys and welcome you to the sit down. I'm your gracious host, Daniel Tademy, and joined with me this evening is my brother, Nick Hood, man. Thank you for tuning up. Well, for joining me on the sit down, bro. I appreciate you stopping by. The sit down is sponsored by Barbers by Nature, so get your haircut. Also, if you need help with life insurance or finance, reach out to my beautiful wife, Oksana Tademy. She can help you guys out with that. And we have merch, but y'all already know that because you probably saw the ad before the video. So make sure y'all head over to the Shopify, get the merch, and that's the rundown, bro.
Get the merch.
That's the rundown.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. So it's been a minute. It has been a while. Yes. But I know that we connect on social media. We're always engaging with one another there. How has things been? How's life? How's the family?
Blessed, man.
What is up?
Blessed, truly blessed. Like, just been, word, church, family growing, kids getting bigger. And then just been watching what God's been doing with the ministry and what God's been doing in my life. It's just been a blessing, truly a blessing.
You're from Orlando. You're not from Orlando?
No.
Where are you from?
Originally from Chicago.
Chicago, yes.
Yeah, and then we moved down here in like 2000. Yeah, 2000. And
your wife too?
No, my wife, she's Florida, really. Yeah.
Florida, Orlando native.
Lakeland native. Lakeland? Yes, Lakeland or Lakeland Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
But she went to Lake Gibson actually. But yeah, so but we moved here in 2000, Fort Myers, and then my mom lost us back into the system like 2001. And we stayed in Ocala, and Lake County, and that's how I found my way to Orlando. Yeah. So just moving around, been all over the place.
So where was rap? Well, you rapping, where was that at while this was happening?
Orlando, Ocala. That's rap kind of picked up like Ocala, like 15, 14. That's when I started to find out, like, you know what? I can do this. Like, I really, like, you know what I mean? Like, every time you do a little freestyle battle or guys just be rapping, like me and my cousin, we probably working out playing football. We just start rapping in the laundry room, on top of the laundry, on the washing machine, and they'll say a little something, and I just go in there, and that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start writing down poetry. I started writing poems, and then turning them in and converting them into rapping. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's where rap.
That was
how
Little
old
Hood.
You were doing that?
14.
14?
Yeah, 14. Yep.
What was your rap name?
Little Hood.
Little Hood?
Yeah, like everybody had that name, Lil Romeo, Lil Bow Wow. So I was Lil Hood, because my last name was Hood, and I was the youngest out of all, like my brother and my cousin. I was like, around the baby age, so little. I was like, all right, Lil Hood.
Lil Hood.
I rock with it.
Yeah.
I rock with it.
So you did that, and then you came to Orlando.
Yeah. Well, no. When I started rapping the gospel in Orlando.
Or just period.
Oh yeah, when I started really, in Orlando, when I started taking it serious, that was like coming home from prison. God had got to save me, started dealing with me, and that was just something that always has stuck with me. Because I was like, you know what, if I could rap in the world, because I used to do a little stuff. I'm not really major, like with secular. I really wasn't doing nothing major.
Right.
But when I really started doing something major, it was in the gospel industry, and that's when it was I was passionate about it, ministry wise. It was just it was something that this is what I feel like I'm called to do at this time. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I want to do at this time. Then it really phased from being rap or hip hop to really just worship. You know what I mean? Because when I think that when it got to that point, it was like, oh man, like music became this important to me. See what I'm saying? But the souls had meant so much more.
Man, you used to have this song that was my jam, bro.
What, Sunday Rain?
Yes,
yeah,
bro.
Sunday Rain was everybody's jam. That was probably one of the best ones I ever did.
I gotta get that from you. You gotta let me. You gotta let me cop that.
You
You gotta let me cop that. I'll sow into your ministry too, bro.
That was probably one of the best.
Bro, that.
Yep.
You was always a good rapper to me, and I think that the reason why like we were connected was the same reason that I even connected to knowledge the way I did was just the age and the experience. Because around us at that time were a lot of younger people. Not to say that they weren't good or whatever like that, but I could relate to what y'all were saying more than anything.
Yeah, because I think pretty much with anybody, it's like it has to have some substance.
Yeah.
And whatever you say when you're doing something, like if there's no substance, then it's like the Bible said, a tinkling cymbal. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is it has no weight behind those words. Like you never heard somebody that's saying something real good, but it's not effective. You know, like, and I think that's how I viewed a lot of artists. You know, because I was like, man, well, like, what's the struggle? Like, you know, like, what did God? What is he doing?
What's the story?
What's the story?
Right.
And with an artist, it has to be a story.
Has to be.
Has to be. You know, I never met an artist that didn't have a story where that passion, that pain was coming from. You know, like it has to come from somewhere. Like for me, it came from being in foster care, in jail, in prison. Being addicted to, you know, getting drunk. You know, it came from that lifestyle that I was living.
Right.
But for somebody else, it could have came from just having an abusive father, you know, or an absent father. Or maybe it could have came from having an abusive mother. Or seeing your mother go through things that you know, really didn't want her to have to go through, you know. Right. And it didn't come from nothing. It's like, hey, you got a silver spoon in your mouth, and you know, mommy and daddy been there like, what? What are you talking about?
That's not too much.
Yeah, and even in gospel, that's not even bad, honestly, because you know you should have tasted the good life all of your life, and if it's something that, like, you know, if you catch some of those artists who like never been through anything, been saved their whole life, that's a blessing. Yeah. But at the same time, even those artists have something to talk about.
They still have no one makes it through life unscathed. So I mean, you're gonna have something to say.
Exactly.
You're gonna have a story.
Good morning, light. Good morning, sun. How are you? Skies above. It's great to be alive and love.
Get your merch, get your merch, get your merch, get your merch.
So yeah, you said, you know, the stories, and I think those are important because that's how you're able to relate to a person. Yeah. And for a minute, man, and let's stay on hip hop for a little bit. And do you want to talk about your foster and prison?
Talk about anything,
cool.
Bro.
So yeah, so when it came to CHH, I wasn't listening to CHH for a minute. Like I kind of got away from listening to it. Not because I didn't want to listen to it, but like you said, there were no stories being told. Sure. And I'm all down for a Get Hyped for Christ track. I'm so down for it. I've made them.
Yeah.
But I don't want an entire album of that. No. I don't want every drop to be that. Like, because then there's no relatability. Because honestly, I'm not always hyped for Christ. I don't always feel like, I don't know about other Christians, I don't always feel like reading my Bible. Sometimes I gotta force myself.
That's right.
To open. I gotta, you know, I don't always feel that way. So I want there to be some relatability in my artists. And honestly, the person that got me back listening to CHH was Lecrae. And I know he gets the biggest flack because he's the biggest artist. He gets the most flack. But you can ask her. I was listening to it, streaming it for free. You know, because I stream on YouTube. 2 songs in, I said, I'm buying this album. Because there was so much substance.
The last one?
Restore.
Honestly,
Restoration.
I actually can say it's his last album. It was like a different person.
bro.
And you know, and it like I could just go from like a mixtape, EP to album, another album. Like, and all those different, a different person.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same. Like, the same person who was on Real Men Love God, that's not the same person who was on The Worship Is Real. You know what I mean? It's like, those are two different people.
You mature.
Yeah, you mature. And I think, and that's what, like, really, like, because I turned the air off too for a little bit. Like, it was just straight Shekinah glory. Like, for real. Like, you would come to my house and it was straight worship, right?
Right.
But then, and then when it was a day, like, you know, when you feeling like that, like, I was just listening to, I would go back and listen to Michael Jackson or something. You know what I mean? Like, my kids, they listen to, like, Luther Vandross and old type songs, but it was, like, artists who I really love in CHH that I rock and I always keep them spinning is, you know, Brian T. Substance. You know what I mean? Bizzle. Substance. You know what I mean? Seven. Substance. And a lot of those guys, like, I actually encountered with and met at one point in time. And it was like kind of down to earth. You, like, you know what I mean? Like, Substance. You feel me? A lot of people I did turn the ear off to, but, you know, but then of life, I've seen the fall too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think, and that's just what's the spiritual part of it. You know what I mean? I honestly, like, I got to see on outside looking in, you know, or even God to show me something with an artist, and I'm like, wow, if I didn't really feel it, and then 2 or 3 years later, around the line, you know, we'll see the fall or the scandal or whatever it was, and I was just, that's what Lord used to tell me, like, instead of criticizing CHH, you know, maybe you can be that minister who intercedes and stand in the gap for them.
Right.
Because, you know, like, and I think that's the biggest part. Like, even for people like me, and there's so many other brothers, like we pray. Just pray for that person. Pray for that brother. Pray for the whole industry. You know what I mean? Because it can get tainted when it
So you think it's not? This is the world.
It's the world. Like, you live in the world, you know? Like, and I think that's that's like something people don't really, like, just, they're not real about. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you still in this flesh, bro.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Let's
like,
stop it.
I get you can speak in tongues and that, but you still in this flesh.
No one, like I said, no one gets out unscathed.
No.
Paul even said it. And he said, and I love what Paul said when, and it's a famous scripture, everybody quote it, but like, come on, man, let it sit in your heart. He said, and what I realized, I'm totally giving the paraphrase 2020 version. He said, and what I realized is that even when I do good, evil is present.
It's present.
Evil is with me.
It's present. The Bible says, in his flesh dwelleth no good thing.
No good thing.
No good thing.
No good thing.
And I think that's like, so, you know, you're going to get that criticism as if you're, you know, if you're, even me at one point was like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like that. I ain't gonna lie, I was like that because
when you first get
like,
that new convert, that new fire.
It's like you got that
Like
zeal.
on top of the world, boy. I ain't never doing that.
Yeah, and I'm on fire. And this what happened. It was a brother, and he saw me one time, and I was just like busted. And he's just saying like, the zeal is gone. He said the zeal is gone, and it was real.
Yeah.
That passion, that drive, that thought you was better than everybody else, it's gone now. Yep. And now you got some stains on your little white shirt. Yep. You know what I mean? So now let's deal with this.
Let's deal with this
as a whole. And I thought, and I was like, you know what? That's real. But then I've learned the consistency is what still separated me. Because even though I had the stain on my little white shirt, I was still consistent in what I was loved. Yeah, like, keep going back. I'm coming back, guys. I'm part of the sun. I'm not, you know. I'm coming back. You know. Woo. Yeah.
But here's the beauty. The beauty is in the comeback. I was talking on the phone today, with early today with the potential sit down guests, right? And I was on the phone talking to them. And I said one thing that I've learned through all of this, because even throughout my walk with Christ, you know, I've messed up horribly. I said, but one thing that I realized is that God's love is eternal.
That's right.
And when he says that,
that's right,
when God says that because we got to remember, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So his love is already available to us before we even are thought about it and conceived in our in our mother's womb. He already loves us because for God so loved the world that he gave his only you know, so our love is sealed.
Yes.
So like, no matter what we do, where we go, what we get into, David said it. Even if I make my bed in Sheol, you right there.
You're right there. You're present with me.
Because that's what his love is. And it's beautiful.
It just, it's just minister. Just going on a deeper level, right? It's like his love is deep. It's so real. But it's like once you get a taste of it, or just a sip of it, his love, it's like now that passion or that drive that you had to say, you know what, now I'm going to work out my salvation with fear and trembling. You will have that once you feel his love. Once you feel it. And I think what happens is, if you do not feel it, it's because of the things of this world, this flesh, like the things that you play. Like, you a body bag. You see what I'm saying? And when it all boils down to this flesh is a body bag. It's something that's inside of you. You know what I mean? That really gives everything on the outside is power.
Yep.
So now if I just destroy this flesh and I don't take care of this flesh, now that person in the inside is dying too, slowly but surely. So it's like, and I wonder why. Oh, you never, people don't talk to you and pray for you, and years go by, you never been saved, you never taste his love, and it's because what are you consuming that's outweighing, what you feel? Because the Bible even says that the last days, man will have no natural affection. That means just the simplest things that hurt you and me, it won't hurt them. Their heart is so callous. Like my hands, I do construction, I have callous hands sometimes. So if I just, that won't hurt me. You know what I mean? I might scratch it, that won't hurt me, But it's some people's heart like that. Like the little thing that a 3-year-old get ran over right now, I'm going to cry. Because I got a 3-year-old.
That hurts.
That hurts me.
And it should.
Yeah, it's supposed to hurt. But
it's supposed to.
Yeah, but when your heart got calluses,
you
will see that and be like, well, her mama shouldn't have had her out there anyway.
Yeah.
Where's the tears for the deal?
Yeah.
What the mama did, like, we're going to deal with that later. Right now, we're trying to deal with it.
Right now, it's that. So this is a controversy thing, a controversial thing.
Okay.
Kanye West is extremely controversial for all these reasons.
Yes.
Now, personally, like my personal thing about him, I listened to his
gospel album.
Yeah, I listened to Jesus is King.
Yeah.
I thought it was like really good.
Yeah.
The Sunday services and all that. I was listening to TD Jakes was talking about him. He was like, because they asked TD Jakes about him. They asked what is his thoughts about it. He was like, okay, he's a good musician. He was on the Breakfast Club. He's like, he's a good musician, which is cool. He said, but who's ministering to him? That's what I care about. Like who's pouring into him? Who's he learning from? The music is fine. Like that's cool. But this is me right now. Music is fine. Music won't get you into heaven.
Well, where's the discipleship coming from?
Like that's what I care about.
That's what I care about.
Now that I've said that, when it comes to, I feel like believers, Christians, sometimes we could be like extremely overly critical. This is just my opinion.
Yes.
Yes. Anyone can disagree with it. I'm fine with people that disagree.
Facts.
We could, and so it's just like, we feel like there's a special reservation for who can be converted and who can't be.
And the Bible says,
I'm not saying he is converted.
Yeah.
I can't say that he's not though.
That's right.
The only thing I can do is observe and pray.
And pray. The Bible said that, listen, man ought to always pray. So rather it was Kanye, rather it was the neighborhood dope man, you still supposed to pray.
That's it.
So my thing is, I'm with you. I agree. I care about who's the one who's feeding him.
That's
spiritual.
I
care about that because that really, because the reason why is because Kanye has so much influence on our younger generation.
Yeah.
And this can make or break, somebody's life. You know what I mean? And it's like because think about it. Right. A Kanye West fan from when he was, oh, or he was,
Jesus walks.
yeah, like for just way back then. That's how I started. I love Kanye from way back then. But now, say, so you went on that club journey with Kanye. But now Kanye brought you into a church, but you still love him to the point where you will go to church. Right. Now that's like, okay, greater is he that's in me than he that is in the world. So now I need to make sure when this conversion happened, make sure, and that's the way I feel. Like even when it comes to baptism and like everything, like just to make sure we doing it the right way. You feel me? But we don't have. But now watch this. The Bible says Paul planted, Apollo watered, so God to get it increased. Because I'm not in that position to be his disciple or his mentor or something like that. Guess what? I have to trust God in God being in the person who did.
Right.
And if it does not come to pass, that's something they both got to answer to God. Right. I don't have a heaven or hell to put it in.
You can't. And because like two things, like Snoop Dogg did a gospel album, and someone asked me about that, and personally my opinion on that was I don't care that he made a gospel album. I can't stop him from doing that. What I care about, because and this is the thing that a lot of believers and even those in music got to understand. CHH or Christian hip hop or whatever you want to call it, the gospel and all that, that's not your genre. You don't own that.
Don't own that.
Anyone can make a song and do anything. It's not ours to stake a claim over.
Little Nas X, he's not a country artist, but he sold one of the best country songs. Old Town Road. That's like you. Like, so you're right. You can't own that.
No, and if he makes a gospel album, that's between him and God. A gospel album not gonna get you in or out of heaven. So it's like
they've been making gospel songs forever.
For the longest.
That's the sad part about
all these artists.
R. Kelly made gospel songs probably while he was a little girl in the room. Like you don't know. These guys been making gospel songs.
Yeah,
but that shows you too. Also, it shows you that that's where the anointing comes from. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, because the Bible says that we are created and we're created to bring pleasure unto the Lord. So if you have this gift to sing, this gift to rap, like 9 times out of 10, God gave you that gift to glorify Him. But we use it, and it's not like I say, we're not here forever.
No.
So it's going to be the day when we're going to get up out of here. The church ain't going to be here no more. And you can rap in gospel and country or whatever you want to do, because you could do that with them demons gonna be here.
and that's why, like I said, even with Kanye, because for a while I stopped listening to Kanye West around like 808s and Heartbreak Time. I stopped listening to him, and not for any crazy reason. I just didn't like the sound of the music at the time. Like I just think it was. Now when he started dropping like Jesus is King is actually when I actually started back listening to him again. So like. That's when I started doing it. But
he's I think he really means well. To be honest with you, I'm not even.
I watch his interviews.
Yeah, I really think I think what it was, God had took him so high, and they think about Jesus.
He said it.
Yeah, when you get to see,
he talked about all that.
Yeah, you get to see everything, and he's seen it. Like he's seen it. Like you talking about when people really, says, I'm not going to say they're Illuminati. Right, but let's just say if that's the case, he was one of those ones they said seen it. And now for him to say, you know what, I want to. No, that's not what I want. I back up, and he actually backed up. Like he's not friends with those. Like he really cut ties. Yeah. So you have to be able to say, you know what, I respect that. And
at some point in time, you gotta look at it and realize what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And like I watched this. He did an interview with Nick Cannon. It's called Cannon's Class. It's like it's like basically they're just talking, and they're at his ranch in Wyoming, and like he moved out there. He's doing a lot of dope things.
Wow.
Yeah, and the dude's a five-time billionaire, man. But like you don't know that, like they don't.
They're sleeping on him.
No, they sleeping on him heavy. But
heavy,
my thing is, at the end of the day, just pray for the guy, because even
Kanye,
vocally doing that, and then on top of that, he's making actions.
Exactly. God bless Kanye, man.
Bro.
Said prayer for Kanye.
Big time.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't never know.
You never know.
You never know. Do you want? So you was in foster care.
Yeah.
I know. I have a friend of mine that was in that.
Yeah, foster care.
So what is? Speak about that. Like what are some of the things? It's just
foster care. Like one day it's gonna be like I believe like me, all my siblings might be on Oprah somewhere telling our story. Like, that's how foster care is. Like, it's real. It's real. You think about it. It's a child that comes from one home, and he's placed in another home. And as bad as he wants to go back to that other home, you can't go. You can't go. And you can run away. The police will come and get you and take you back. You can, you do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, you can't go to that home that you once knew.
How old were you when you?
Yeah, I was like 3. My first time.
So you knew?
Yes, I've been. This was something that was ongoing through my life. Like, I went from 3 to 9. Then I came home with my mom, and then she lost me when I was 11. And I turned 18. So this was, it's my life. I used to have this saying. I think I had it in a song. Where I was like, foster care was my mother. Then prison taught me how to be it was like my dad. You know what I mean? Because at that time, in the 80s and the 90s, like, we forget like the laws that were being placed. We forget like the things that actually took place in Black America, right? That actually destroyed families. Like, that was something. Was like crazy. Yeah, like that was something that, like,
80s, 90s.
If you think about it, if you destroy the head, you control the tail. So the Black man was, really like he was out the house. You got him out the house first. And it was bigger than just, he caught a charge and he went to prison or he died. Or sometimes you had women who was brainwashed, right, in white America, who forced that man out the house too. Or didn't want no part of him, had a baby by him, led him on. And we're gonna start this family and then go all over the world. Like, back in the 80s, a woman you could be with her today. And then if she get on the airplane tomorrow, how you gonna find her? Think about it. You ain't have no Facebook or none of that. Like, she's online. you know she was online. So, like, at that time, families were destroyed. They were destroyed. Then, not to mention, the government had things going on. Like, if a woman had 5 kids with no husband, they targeted that woman, and that's when foster care became big. And my mom was one of them. You know what I mean? Like, my mom, she fought with Stokely Carmichael and all of them back in the days with, like, with their message, not Stokely, because, that was before her time, but with their message. You see what I'm saying? With the Black Panther movement, she was a part of that in Chicago. That's who we thought we was coming away from.
Wow.
And, so it really wasn't like, she just was an addict. No, like, what made, that's how I am. Like, I want to look at, like, what caused that.
Right.
And that's the thing we don't look at. Like, when we're looking at this, what's going on now, you look at all the shootings and what's the root to that?
Right.
That officer was angry today. Why was he angry? What made him come to work angry today? And it's the same thing we look at, like, why are they so mad? Black Lives Matter. Why? Because it's so many hidden stories and pain and things that took place in America that, we just kept, for a decade go by, 10 years go by, you done brush that over the rug, 10 years, and why is he still crying about it? We got over that. No, you ain't get, like,
no.
I tell my kids sometimes, my kids, and they ask, or even anybody ask, I was like, if that tree can talk to you, if that tree can talk, it'll tell you some things, that it's seen. Like, think about those old trees that have been around for like hundreds of years. They could tell you what it's seen in 100 years. Oh my God. I wish I was Pocahontas and I can go to, how the trees talk to Pocahontas. Like, I wish, like, that it really happened.
Yeah.
And that would probably kill everything that's going on, but, we have to go through it.
Yeah. So you turned 18.
Yeah.
So you aged out of foster care.
Yeah.
What was, now, were you in Chicago? You was in Chicago the whole time? No. When we moved here in 2000, so I was 11 when we moved here. My mom had got us back. In 99, she got us back. I was 9. And then we moved to Florida in 2000. So in 2000,
we was good. It was, I was here. Everything was straight. We was living our life.
Yeah.
Mom had a nice house, and she was working at Toys R Us, and life was good.
Right.
But then she met a guy, and he ended up beating on her, and then how the domestic relationships is. When he went to prison, it wasn't like leave him there. Let's go finish with your life with your kids. She went to follow after him, and we found ourselves in a shelter, and she lost us again. And then when she lost us that time, it was just like, yeah, I think this is going to be my life for a while. And I started. It really just taught me how to be a good people person. You know what I mean? Like, it was no different. Like, it's probably not a how should I say it? A personality that I have not seen. You see what I'm saying? But if you learn how to adapt, because some people, like, we're so introverted, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay here. But I always been placed in somebody else's house. So it's like this day, you gotta get along with these people because you gotta stay here. Right. So now I've learned how to just say, I could deal with that. Like, some people, like, you'll go to your house and I don't eat anybody's food. Mm-hmm. Or I'm not like that. You know what I mean? If I go to your house, I eat anybody's food. If it's good, I'm going to eat it. You know what I mean? Because I've learned that that's the only way you're going to eat.
Yeah. Like, you tell her. I grew up with my parents. And I was that way. I want to go eat. I go to someone else.
Yeah, man, for real.
Shoot, we was broke.
Yeah, man. Life was hard, man. It was, but it's beautiful now because it just allows me to give my kids just a better life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it teaches me how to be a father. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Be present. You know what I mean? Because that's something that these children, they need. They really need a daddy that's present. Not just that's my dad. No, a daddy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you only hear that when you're present. Right. You know what I mean? Like, daddy, the kid's not gonna never call you daddy if you're not present. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they need that though. They really need
the power of a father figure. Like, I'm learning that now. Like, I have 3. My oldest, he doesn't live with us. My oldest son. So but like, even with him, I make sure that to the best of my ability, I impact his day to day as much as I can.
There's so much as you can do. Yeah. So like we're actually going through that now with Elijah. My oldest, he's 12, and it's like, it's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? Like, Sunday, when I went to see him, I spent some time with him, and I just talked to him, and I've learned, because of the separation and because he's not with me every day, I can't be that stern father. Like, I can't do that. I can't be that with him. Like, because I could be that with the rest of my kids, because, like, I've been there from day one to now. But with him, because I'm not with his mom, because he's in a different household, it's just, like, I just gonna be your friend. And when you need me, I'm gonna give you advice, and I'm gonna be telling you the truth, and if you do something that I don't like, I'm still gonna let you know I don't like it. I'm gonna punish you in the ways that I can. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's only so much you can do. That's why man ought to pray. Always pray. Yeah. You gotta always pray. You gotta pray. Because prayer is central in this lifestyle. For real.
Like the kids that and I've had to learn that too. That you can discipline or be stern with them, and the kids that don't live in your house, because the kids that live with you, they can see multiple sides of you. So they know when you get on them, if you discipline them, if you get on, they know that, oh, there's another side of him.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to see that side.
Yeah. They know that, they know the loving side, they know the caring, nurturing side of you. Yeah. But with the kid that doesn't live in the house,
all he knows is what you show him
at that time. So like, he doesn't know that there's another side of you. So like, even with my son, like, I would get on him and discipline him. He's 6 now, so it was a trying year 5. Mm-hmm. So he was getting into so much trouble. Yeah. But I had to work with it through him. I had to work with it, and I would get on him, but then I make sure that he pick him up, kiss him,
show affection to my son.
Still show him love, man. And I feel like a lot of times, and even myself growing up, like, my father wasn't around as much as he would like. I know. So So I was primarily raised by my older siblings.
Yeah.
You know, mom has to work, dad's not in the home. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
she has to get it the best way she got to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, I was raised by my older siblings. So like, and especially with the images that the world portrayed, tough man, like you gotta be tough. You know.
I really see
But that's not
too. With your family. I think you was the only one that was kind of like, you know what, like down to earth. Like the rest of them, they seem like militant.
Yeah, because dude, we it's 7 of us.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's 7 of us.
Yeah.
So like, and we didn't really have like a network of friends. Like, yeah, we have friends, some people we go to school with, but it was primarily family.
Yeah.
You know, and we grew up. We didn't have a lot of money. We were broke growing up. So like, there's a lot of struggle there. You know, so you kind of just got to get it how you live. Like you better figure this out. And so that's how we grew up. And we was introverted. And it was family. That's what we do. But as I got older and I started running into different personality types like yourself, like I feel like, you know, I can walk into a room, you know, and I can talk to anybody. Not gonna say that I can really go to deeper levels with them as much as they, but I can pretty much talk to any type of person, and I have.
And you know what? I think like my kids are like that. Like I think my kids are gonna be like, we have a big, we got something like what you had growing up. We got a big family now, so it's like we got 6 now with 1 on the way. So with 7 kids, that'll be 7, right? So it's like it's a blessing because like I even see now with my kids, like they'd rather be like, let's just go somewhere as a family. You know,
they don't care what you do.
No, like it don't have to be like, oh, I want to go to this friend's house. No, I think when they get older, they're gonna have their friends where they want to leave and go, and there's gonna be more friends that's gonna be in the house. So I get that, but it's just like you're right, because you first got to know who you are before you go out. And like, you ever meet those people who don't know who they are, you know? And so you think about 30 years, you going about lying about who you are. Like, that's a tough place to be.
Dude,
you know?
for the longest, I'm 35 and I just reached, Noxana knows it.
Yeah.
My wife knows it. I just reached a space at 35 in my life where I'm comfortable with displaying the real me. Like, I've always had a sense of who I was, but I would go into all these circles and you kind of adapt and change who you are to fit that that circle.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And the whole time there are things that I really wasn't into, I didn't really want to do, but because I want to be associated with this circle at this particular time, I take on that identity. And then I'm moving around and then you lose track of who you are, but because you got to get used to displaying who you are. Then once you finally figure out who you are, now you got to deal with the fight of displaying it, and then people will ridicule you for it, and they'll bash you for it. Like I remember, bro, like I was probably one of the only people I knew at that time in my life, like that was jamming Will Smith. But I was a Will Smith fan.
Yes, I was a fan.
I would jam Will Smith like it, bro. Like, I'm 18, 19, 20, jamming Will Smith. But like, literally, honestly, bro, like I could have sworn I was like a small collective of people that liked Will. Like I thought like I was the only person that I knew. Yeah. But as I got older, I realized, dang, Will Smith is a multi-million album selling artist. I didn't know he was that big because I was the only person. And I would get ridiculed for that, but you know, so you just gotta learn different things about
the environment too. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you could be in just a hating environment. Like I've stayed in the city, like that. It's just a hating city. You know what I mean? Like you could come out of that city and show mad love to that city. Yeah, you know what I mean? But there'll still be somebody that's like, I'm better than you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why y'all choose him? You know, like for real. Like, and I think about artists like Plies that came out of my city in Fort Myers, and football players like Dion that came out of my city. Like, I've seen what they went to after they like man, I'm just one individual coming out of this city that actually does something good, and it's like, dang, I get this much hate from y'all. You know, and that's just life in general. You know what I mean? Because you can't please people. Some people you'll never please. So it was, for me, it was like, man, just be you. Right. I never was like that. I mean, one time we went to a show. I don't know if you remember this. We had a show at Zornil Fest. You remember that? Did you do that with us?
Did I do that show? I probably did.
Okay.
Eatonville?
Yeah, Eatonville.
Yeah.
And it was one time when we seen what's the guy name? What's his name? Ty Tribute. Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody was like, "Don't run up there and say nothing to him." Like, bro, I'm a fan. What you talking about? Like, but I did not do it.
Right.
I held my composure. Like, yo, we're somebody too.
Yeah.
Because that was the image we were portraying.
Right.
But it was a little boy in me. You know what I mean? That was like, man, that's Ty Tribute. Man. Let's say hi.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, what's up with that? You know?
Yeah.
And I think like and I'm so happy I'm not in that stage no more, Daniel.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm so happy that I'm not that dude that's just like, you know, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, all right, I'm cool with it. Like, you know how many times when we used to do events and then they used to always like, because I do worship music, just go first. Mm-hmm. I used to hate that. Heck no, right? Heck no. I used to like, especially like when we was in Georgia, I was just like,
yo, Georgia was tough.
Yes, and I was like, man, like why y'all just always want to throw me first? Oh, cause you know, but that was the persona and what they thought was cool. You know something? What they was expressing because it helped them. Mm-hmm. Really, it helped them because it was like, okay, well, we want to make these two look like the, you know. So let's kind of put him here, and you know, they Daniel and Nicholas, they weren't mine. It's just go, you know, because really we didn't because
I didn't care.
Because we were kingdom minded.
Yo, I'm like, I'm going first.
Yeah.
I jump up out. Where you gonna put me? I jump down.
But after a while, I started to think like, dang. Like my wife would tell you, like, why y'all ain't put me first? What was going on? Like, God, ain't nobody even here yet. Like, you want me? You know? So now I started to think, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not that person no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not that person. Like I didn't mind going into bars and on the streets, and because I love the evangelizing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like I don't mind. Like I know my style. Put me in a church.
Yeah.
Book me a church.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing all these other artists doing stuff on Sunday morning service. Why you wanna put me on a Sunday morning service?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. But you have this image. It's like no wish about the streets.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't about
See, and that goes back to what we were talking about before the show off camera, like that image and how you brand yourself. Yeah. Because I do believe branding is big, is key, is vital, it's important. Yes. Even though it's like in the church and it's like, we have our faith, but, and this is one thing I say a lot. Well, I don't say like you're gonna be the first person really outside of the house to hear this. Mm-hmm. And then now everyone else can hear it. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm just gonna be honest. So like, we make music, right? We're artists. We have to realize too at the same time. Yes, we're making it for God. You want to glorify God. True. It is still a form of entertainment. So you just gotta remember. You just gotta be mindful. Like there's certain things that's entertaining and certain things that are not. So I don't do this for entertainment. It's worship. Fine. I get what you're saying.
Entertainment.
People are still going to receive it as entertainment. And not everybody's going to receive it as.
That's when it came, and
you got to connect the dots.
That's what made me step away.
So but see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right?
Because let me say this, and it wasn't because of the fact that it was entertainment.
Right.
It's just the fact that I knew that that's all I was doing to you. See what I'm saying?
It's being entertainment.
Yeah, it's being an entertainment to you. Once I knew that it wasn't like it wasn't affecting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like let's just be real. How many people getting saved at their concert or this show? Like how many people are really being changed?
See,
some people are changed. That's true. I see what you say. Some people change.
But not really. Some people change. At that point, it's just on what you're allowed to do. Because remember this, right? In music, you have it's the capacity, people's capacity to receive, right? So you have a 3-minute song.
Exactly.
Right, like really, how much can you place inside that 3-minute song? You may be able to tell a snippet of a snippet of your story.
That's right.
You can't even give you can't even give a full page of a book in 3 minutes, depending on like how you relate the song, because remember the chorus is repetitive, so they're gonna hear that 3 times in the song, and then you're gonna give them and so you can only tell the same piece of information in the chorus because it's 3 times, and then you got a verse, second verse, first verse, second verse,
so much you're gonna
and then 3 verses, and then 16 bars, and then how many words go into 16 bars depending on your flow.
That's right.
Some bars can stretch a little shorter or longer, so you got to think about how you place it. But that's why, like, my biggest thing with music was I want my own set.
That's right.
I want a whole set.
Exactly.
I don't want to just be one of them artists that do a song. I'll do a song or two while I pave the way. Yeah. But I'm chasing that set because you got to build that.
Now you got more time to talk and more time.
Because real cap, no cap, real talk. I started speaking in tongues and felt the Holy Spirit at a hip hop concert. Yeah, that's why I believe in the power of hip hop. The artist that that laid hands on me, who? 7.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? But now you see what I'm saying?
But 7
though. But you see the
7 is
because he's that one. He's that one. He's that one that will cut. Like, I remember, listen, one time, my wife, she can attest to this. It was an event on Washington. On Old Winter Garden, right where the Popeyes at on the OBT. And if you go a little farther down, it was a small church right there, like right there, and the music was booming. And it's I think when I first signed with them, right, and next thing you know, 7, I see 7, right. So it's like, okay, they shut the music off on 7. You know what I mean? Like the police came, it was like the music too loud, disturbance, whatever. You didn't have no permit or nothing, right? So boom, 7 like, okay, he's just go to preaching, talking about the word, and that's when I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, that's gonna be me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? And then I think what happened was really now it wasn't the fact like I don't like music no more, because I still got some stuff on the road, and I'm ready at any time like to drop a song. You know what I mean? Because I will, and I think I'm probably still gonna do songs at certain times. But I just know now, I know the perspective in doing it. Right. You feel me? Like, and it's not, and I think it could be my own personal conviction, but I just know now it's like in the holies of holies, I won't entertain you. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And I think that was the thing that I've learned now. And so when I do step on the scene, it would be like, okay, a concert, street team, something like that. Yeah, I'll show up. But if it's like, okay, you got this service and you preaching too, nah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because now I'm just being entertainment. Right. You see what I'm saying? And now I'm taking the attention off of God, and they're like, oh, you're gonna spit this. I don't want that. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I don't know, because it's real. Like, and I believe I seen some things happen. I remember one time where I didn't even minister to people and pray for people, right then on the spot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The little boy in Georgia, remember the little boy? Like he was affected based off of, and came to Christ that night. You know what I mean? Based off of a worship song that I did. The people in Georgia, matter of fact, who came, remember the pastor who came from the back? Like, she was affected. So I seen people get affected. Right, I would attest to that. But it's just like, I think it just gotta be, it's all about what God wants. It's what God wants. You know what I mean?
It's the song and dance that you gotta go through in order to get your stuff off. So it's just like, and that's in any realm you get into, like it's kind of how you do it and how you maneuver in it. Yeah. Like for me, and then I want to talk about the video you posted that I commented on.
Which one?
The video I commented on
that you
posted about, with your son in the parking garage.
Oh, yeah. I know that's, bro. bro. Yeah, but it's life.
But so you said you don't want to talk about it?
No, yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So like my
Bro, you got all of me. There's nothing that you can't talk about, bro.
Okay. My biggest thing, my thing with music, back before we get there. So on music, it's just how you maneuver it, how you move it. Because I still like doing music. I still want to do it. Mm-hmm. And I got an EP dropping soon too. Yes. But my thing now with music, it's just I have some stuff I want to say. I have a story to tell. I got some information I want to pass to the people. I'm going to use music to do it.
Exactly.
And it's just like, and that's why I like being an independent artist too. Like I love being an independent artist.
No
I just wish I could make more
attached.
money in it because it's expensive to do music. Like it's a process. It takes a lot of time.
It is.
But like, I want to be able to deliver some substance in my content, and how you deliver it too, in the way like how you do it. You kind of just got to. I really had to step into a space where I was more creative with what I deliver and then how I deliver it. Because
I think love over hate was like, I like that.
Hate over love?
And hate over love, yeah, I like that because it really do make you think. You know, and I think that was good. It was good. And and honestly, like I say, it's certain things that you were just always going to like, man, I want to see how can he minister to me today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I put you in the CD, I put you in because I'm messing with you, I'm vibing with you. You're saying something to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we're like a dime of a dozen.
Yeah, it's not a
you
lot.
know what I mean? So that's why I like the perspective of coming into it and just saying, you know what, I'm gonna come and give you what I got.
And that's it.
And I'm gonna try to give you a little bit. And if you rather you take it, you take it. You don't,
don't,
you
you
don't.
don't.
You know. But this is what
Because you got to realize too. You got to realize too that the gospel is not for everyone. And when I learned within myself, like when I really let it sit within my heart, that not everybody is going to like me or receive me. Yeah. I freed myself, and that's why I said I don't do nothing for the love no more. Give me the hate. If you haven't heard Hate Over Love, check it out. Because it's like I don't do nothing for the love no more. Give me the hate because I can take it. And it's just like saying that, you know, if you do things and I don't, because it's a play on words. It's hip hop, so I'm speaking rap languages. I'm speaking rap language. So like, if you do things to try to receive that validation from people, I want you to love me. I want you to like me, like what I'm doing. Yeah. Give me the hate because I can take it. Don't like me.
Yeah, don't like me.
I'd rather you don't mess with me.
Don't mess with me.
I'm not going to try to do things for you to approve or receive me.
Yeah. And the thing I like about that is because so many artists don't do that.
They want to be liked.
They want to be liked. Like you really want somebody to appreciate you. Like you gotta think about it. I imagine myself sometime when I first started rapping, I was like, man, like I'm gonna be one of these. Like I'm gonna go down as one of the greatest. It was in the back of my head, even though you were saying like I'm doing this for God. Yeah. In the back of my head, I was still saying like, man, I'm gonna be one of the greatest rappers ever. Like especially in the gospel. No, you know what I mean? That's how, especially in gospel. And then I got in it, and I jumped in it, and I seen. And it was like, man, okay, you trying to boom. And then you just, like, my new saying is you just bob your head to the religious beat. Because what happened is you're going with the flow. You know, so when you see the tune over here is this, so you bob that tune. And then you come this tune, you bob that. And I was just like, I don't want to do that no more. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think when I was with Soundwire, that's when I really started to, like, just be me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so if I did come do a set, or it was being me because I wasn't coming for no 1 or 2 songs. Like, no, if it's not if it ain't 20, 25 minutes, I'm good. I'm good.
That's real though.
You know, and the reason why, because I started to really put the value. And like, listen, you're not just finna just keep using me to perform or to fill this slot.
To fill a slot.
You know, like no. And then I done been here 5 times already. Like no.
And it's the same little stuff. I don't want to get too much on that, but like you said, it's the value.
The value. Man.
Yes, I'm doing it for God, but just because you throw God on it doesn't mean
it does not have a value on it.
Yes, it doesn't mean it doesn't have value.
Still valuable.
And it doesn't mean that everybody has to like it just because you say God. It doesn't mean.
And criticize it. Give me that. I'd rather you tell me to my face why. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you ever thought about that? Like you know, you always say compensations always. Just tell me why. Why? Like I never got the why in my face. I always just got it ain't the whatever behind the scenes. But I never got the why in my face. And that's what I'd rather have. You see what I'm saying? So instead of like you smiling like everything's good, no, just give me the why and I can deal with that and going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
but it's life, man. It's a process of learning. So real quick, and then I want two more things, and then we'll bring it to a close. But like, so talk about
the video.
What happened, man? Like, what? I know it's a lot.
Yeah,
I know it's heavy. So
it's heavy.
As whatever you want to talk about, because your business is your business.
Yeah,
and so however.
But really, it's just life, man. You know, I've sown some seeds, bro. Right. That ain't always been righteous. You know what I mean? That's just the gist of it. Like, my son is 12 now. You know what I mean? So I've been going through it with his mother for years. You know what I mean? Like, she does not. Some people like really don't like the fact that you don't want them no more. Right. You know what I mean? Like, when you in a relationship with a woman, and y'all just take this. Like, young man, if you with a woman and you don't like her no more, and you don't love her no more, that's okay. That's okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's okay, right? You could actually walk away from that and be okay with your life. And women, and that young lady, you have to understand that he doesn't want you no more. You see what I'm saying? So now, if y'all had a child together, if you had a house you bought together, a dog you paid for together, you see what I'm saying? However it goes, that's something y'all will have to go and say, you know what? We paid for this, or we had this baby, you know. I don't like you, but I have to respect you for the next umpteen years or whatever, because we had a child together, and we have to he has to have us. You know what I mean?
That's real.
And so, some people just ain't grew up. Like, you know, I would think 6 years ago she would have grew up, but she didn't. So now you got another relationship, and she's married to this guy, and he doesn't know me. Like, she done had 2 kids after me. You know what I mean? So, like, if I come to get my son, me and you shouldn't have no problems. I've been married for almost 7 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm not even thinking about her. But it's just because of the lies and the stuff that she feeds them. And if I'm not there to ever, you know, tell my side of the story, you know, he gonna believe whatever she told him. Mm-hmm. So one day they supposed to come and get my son. I think I had to preach in Georgia, and I took my son with me. Usually I would take him home Sunday night, but I left from a service Sunday morning in Orlando and drove straight to Savannah.
Dang.
And did a service Sunday night. Exactly.
Wow.
So it was like, and I told her first thing in the morning I'll drop him off. Now, mind you, summertime, you know what I mean? Like, it's been years I didn't even have him. So what's, like, a person who really wants the best for the child, they're not going to make a big scene out of that.
Right.
But, you know, they get belligerent, what they going to do to me, what they going to do to my wife. And like, let's just be honest. As a man of God, I am a minister. I don't promote violence. I don't promote that. But I'm not gonna let nobody just
don't come
like
around
listen. Like what the brother say? Like what the brother say? Don't try me, try Jesus.
Yeah.
Like for real, bro. Like I really believe that. Like I'm not there yet. Yeah. I'm not there yet. No, I'm not saying
you have a right to protect your house by any means necessary.
Exactly. And that's so basically what I did. I come out there in flip flops with my dog. Like I'm not coming to fight.
Right.
But you came for this. Right. Obviously, you stabbed me, so that's what you came for. You see what I'm saying? You brought a weapon to my house. You know what I mean? You in my garage. That's my garage. That's a thing. Like, you know, and that's a whole nother. This is a whole nother, because you can cross the tracks or across I-4 and go off in one of them garages. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Go off in one of them garages and stab somebody. You going to jail.
Right.
You going to jail.
Right.
But you coming to, you know, my side, just, you know, 10, 20, 100 yards away, different, 100 yards different, but you can come in my garage and it's not private property.
Wow.
That's crazy, isn't it? So, you know, so that's what we're pleading right now. But I really just, I put that whole situation in God's hands, because it's like, I don't want the mother to be in jail. You know what I mean? I don't want the father, well, I do. I ain't gonna lie, I want him in jail, but that's not what God's will for him. That's not what's gonna help him. Like, I gotta think about the fact is you still gonna be around my son. So more than anything, I want your soul to be right. I want you to be saved. Right. I want you to be like it was one point I went and I prayed for the whole family, and the mother, she was like, "Oh, I'm so thankful you know you're so changed and you're this and this," but like a couple of weeks later, it just like all that was out the window. And that's because, like, you know, reprobate mind, like she she in that stage and she ain't grew up yet. You know what I mean? So just keep her in prayer.
Yeah, man,
You know
we'll
what I mean?
definitely be praying
Keep
for
on
that.
praying. Yeah, man,
In
but-
that entire
but
situation.
That was crazy. It was crazy, man.
So
It was crazy.
have you seen your son since then?
Yes, yeah. I seen him Sunday, and I get him every other week. You know what I mean? Because with that, now at that time it was just like, you know, there wasn't no court involved or nothing like that. It was just you and me agreeing on this day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now, you know, it's court order. Now you know you have to bring him here. You know, it's yeah.
And sometimes if you can't work it out, if you can't do it, then you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like kids need fathers. Like they got mom, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And if mom's out there making it tough, some moms are making it tough, and you're making it tough for whatever reason. Feelings and emotions get involved, but at some point you gotta say, listen, this kid, man, like this baby, because it's possible to raise a decent child. Yeah, I'm not saying you want
in a broken home.
You
don't
don't
like
that
what you want.
Yeah,
but it can happen.
But it can happen because as long as the dad's presence is there, and that child knows, like my son, I don't see him every day. We talk on the phone, and now we FaceTime. Like his mom can say, Daniel, hey, get right. I'm gonna call your dad, because he knows like. Dad is he's not far. And as long as they know that, they move different throughout life. Even if they don't always say it, in the back of your mind, if you were raised with your parents, both parents, it's just something about you. It's something about it mentally.
Listen, I tell you this. I'm raising, or my two daughters, my oldest, Aaliyah and Mariah. They're, you know, not my biological daughters, but they're mine. I raised them,
right?
And their father's not there. You know what I mean? So the love they have for me is like on here. You know what I mean? It's because they know it's like they appreciate me that much. So I think the biggest thing was when we started to bring them together, right? With Elijah, his love for me was him. Their love for me was him. You know what I mean? And it was just like, they was like, man, listen, do you know who he is?
Wow.
But it was the thing is, and it's good that we're talking about this because like alienation is real. You know what I mean? Like fathers that's out there that being alienated away from their children, that's real. Like we still go through that. Like I was just saying earlier, how a woman, if she had started something with you in the 80s, she can go to Canada, you will never know.
Yeah.
You got a full-blown 18-year-old boy over there with all these feelings for you.
Yep.
But you don't even know because of that woman. That it's called alienation, and it's happening. And I think in 2020, thank God, it's like we finally have judges and you know what I mean, judicial people in the court sometimes, right? Sometimes, you know, they're actually, you know, starting to see that it's some fathers who love their kids,
who want to be there,
Like I'm like, man, I'm a great father. I don't even toot my own horn. You know what I mean? Like my kids, they'll tell you, like, man, he's a great dad. But at the end of the day, it's like I want to be there for all of them.
Right.
You know, for 12 years, she did that. Like she purposely kept him, like moved to New York at one point in time, you know, like just purposely, like, you know, and I think that was a hindrance too with the music and stuff. Cause it was like, man, like I'm not that guy that's going to have a baby and never know what's going on. I'm going to cry every night. My wife would tell you the days I cried every night by my baby. Because I love him that much, and I told my wife, I was like, if this would have took for me to see him every 2 weeks, stab me again. You know what I mean? And it's funny, you know, just, you know, for humor's sake, but it's like it was real. Like, and then the thing is to do that, and like he didn't even call me, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the hospital, my wife bandaging me up, he didn't even call me. You see what I'm saying? Like you on Fortnite and like you didn't even call me. Like say, Dad, you okay? You know? And so that's what we're going through now. So now it's like it's that stage where I'm just like I'm learning him, he's learning me, and I'm just saying I'm here for you, son.
You gotta break it down.
Yeah, I'm just
you're gonna break it down.
Yeah. Like I gotta get there. In years, I'll tell him certain things and I'll let him know and let him see because he can. So the thing is, he's getting older. Like bro. He knows. He knows. Like you know the difference when you come to a house of a minister and then you're over there. You know the difference.
You know it.
You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's like he's scared because at the end of the day, like I'll have him for the weekend, but he knows he got to go back there for 7 days, 6 days, 13 days, and it's like it hurts. Like one day he cussed me out like a dog, and just told me everything that his mother told him, and I was like so many lies, and I was just like wow, like and it just like I say, it's real. Alienation is real. Women, like they really do this, like especially a woman that's not in God. You know, like you really have to find a woman who has that loves values, honesty, integrity, character. Like these type of women, if they don't have these things, these traits, whoa, you know what I mean? Whoa, because you'll go in and have fun for a night, but boy, you living here for the rest of your life.
You gotta
living here for the rest of your life, man.
But I think that's real though, man. But I do believe that time. And that consistency put in because there's no consistent you presence in his life, so he has no memory, nothing to go back on.
That's right.
So it's just that consistent presence. But I think you'll do it, and knowing you in your heart and your sincerity. So let's talk a little bit about sober for Christ. Because I've seen a couple things online. Sober for Jesus. I'm sorry.
A
couple things online. What's that about?
It's truly a blessing. Like sober for Jesus is everything. It's everything. And it's pretty much just me just giving the word just basic instructions and tools they can utilize to overcome addiction. Me putting shining the light on addiction, because I think that's something in the community that people just overlook. But it's so detrimental. Like that disease is real. Like think about it. It's so many men who have never had a father because of what? Addiction. It's so many kids who never had a mother based off of addiction. An uncle, grandfather, like whoever. Like it's so many intricate parts that have been replaced or misplaced or lost, stolen, or whatever because of addiction. And we don't really shine a light onto it. Like it's just like, oh, you know, she likes to smoke. Why she likes to smoke? You know what I mean? So you had to get back to that. Like he likes to drink. Why he likes to drink? What causes them to do that? You know, and then what causes them to do it, even though they're hurting the people who love them the most. And I went through it. I experienced it. When I actually, you know, stopped rapping, that's when I really fell into addiction hard. You know, my little sister committed suicide, and I was like, it was hard.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was hard for me, and it wasn't a day that I couldn't get high. I didn't live without, you know, smoking weed, you know, smoking Mollies, and you know what I mean, smoking cigarettes, and it's just like I needed it, and I did, and it was like I went years when I didn't need that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but now I need it. Why? You know, and God showed me the why. You know, because I really didn't love this life as much as I thought I did. You know, because when pain and trials and tribulations come, the Bible says in Colossians 1:23, it says, but be not moved away from the hope of the gospel. Situations, circumstances come and move you away from the hope. You know, so sober for Jesus is that outlet God has given me to be able to, you know, or that platform He's given me to be able to share these things and speak these things into people's life, and it's been a blessing. You know, we have counseling sessions for Sober for Jesus. If you have people that are actually struggling and you need us to talk to them or come visit them, you know, we'll do that. You know, prayer sessions, all that, and really because our goal is for them to be saved. You know, and the main reason why it's Sober for Jesus, and it's not just Alcoholic Anonymous or the Narcotics Anonymous, it's because that being anonymous is not helping the narcotic. You see what I'm saying? It's not, because you're trying to hide it. You know what I mean? You're trying to cover it up. And God He wants you to deal with the whole man. You know, He wants to deal with these things for you can be able to grow and go to the next level, you know, and take the next test in life. Wow. And once you find out that it's like, okay, now I'm willing to do this for Jesus. See what I'm saying? It becomes real, because Jesus is the only one that's going to help you and deliver you out of that mess. You know what I mean? Because the truth of the matter, AA never saved me. You know what I mean? I could be 100 days clean. Yeah. You know what I mean? I could be a year clean, and my homeboy come around and I just feel like, hey, you know, they don't know I smoke this blunt.
Right.
Jesus do.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so now it got real. Like, my sponsor, he don't know I got drunk.
Right.
Jesus do.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So now it's been so big, and it's like, and it keeps me. You know what I mean? Me sharing and helping and telling, now it keeps me rooted and grounded into something that's solid.
Accountability.
Exactly.
Accountability is big.
Exactly, yeah.
So, let the people know how they can get in touch with you, how they can connect with Sober for Jesus, and just you and what you got.
Definitely. Well, you can always see me on Facebook. And our church is True Life Church of God, the Bible Way. You know, all you guys do is Google it. You know what I mean? And we're right in the Orlando area, West Columbia, and we have Sober Jesus Monday nights, every Monday nights at 7. Every Monday nights at 7. And that's pretty much just, that's basically what we've been doing, street ministry. So we've been doing like street, like going and evangelizing and just trying to give back to the community and be that voice. Because I think the problem is, like, with all this going on, the church loses his voice. Like, I think what happens is, more than anything, you should be hearing a word from the Lord. You know, like right now, when what's going on, it should be a word that, like, if in Bible days, and it's just, not to preach too much, but in the Bible, every time something happened in Israel or Judah or anywhere, they always went and wanted to see what the prophet had to say.
Right.
Even the king always was connected to the prophet, and that's the problem with America. There's not our king, which is our president. He's not connected to a prophet, not a real one. You know what I mean? Like because if he was, he wouldn't have the Bible upside down, right? You know what I mean? It has to be a real. He has to be connected to a prophet. King Hezekiah went to Isaiah, because he was connected to a prophet. And that's why he had a prosperous land, and there was no plagues in the land. Like, we have to really look at, like, how far we is into the last days when we see what's going on in life. Right. Not ever have you seen somebody walk around with a dirty diaper on their face. No, I call it a dirty diaper because it's just, you got stained breath, you got whatever, and you have to wear it. Right. You know what I mean? You have to wear it. So, but just think about it, like, but you never seen that. My mom haven't seen that. Your mom haven't seen that growing up. That has never happened. Like, even when we had the swine flu, we didn't have that.
Nah.
You see what I'm saying? So now it's getting to that point where you should be able to see the signs, that are coming, and what better than to be sober for Jesus. Amen. In this time. You see what I'm saying?
I appreciate you saying
Definitely,
man. This is dope.
Anytime, bro.
Yeah,
Anytime,
man. So,
anytime.
Thank y'all for watching the sit down.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Let us know what you think about it. Put something in the comments. Comment on the conversation. And we'll see you guys next week, Thursday. Deuces, y'all. Deuces. Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.